third one.
Okay. Be'ezrat Hashem, we're ready to start Daf Vav. So we're going to start on Hey Amud Bet. Gemara on Daf Hey Amud Bet says, we said that Amar Luhu Kiha. Let's start for Kiha the Amar Mor from the two dots. Amar Mor. Yachol, I might think Yatmin, he could hide his chametz because it says Lo Yira'eh. V'yikabel Piktono min hanochrim. And he could take deposits from Goyim because it's not his. Talmud Lomar Lo Yimatzeh. You can't have it whether it's yours or not and whether you could see it or not. Ha'amarta reisha shelecha yataroeh. We said before that you only not let us see your own chametz. Lo yira'eh lecha. Aval ataroeh shel achirim v'shel gavoh. You could see other people's chametz. So meaning Goyim's chametz. So what do you mean? I thought you can't take a pikadon because it says Lo Yimatzeh.
What's shel gavoh?
Hekdesh. Hekdesh is not yours either. Lo kashya. Hade kabil alei harayut. Hade la kabil alei harayut. Lo kabil alei harayut. If he didn't accept responsibility for it, if it gets lost, he's not going to have to pay for it. Then he could see it. Why? Because it's bichlal, not his. Masha'en ken kabil alei harayut. If he accepts the responsibility and he's going to have to pay for it if it gets lost, then he's not allowed to have it in his house because that's somewhat his. The fact that he has a financial, fiscal responsibility to it means he can't. What's it called? Rashi. No, okay. So the Gemara says, Kiha, we'll give an example. The Amalu Rava lebnei Mehuza. Rava told the people that lived in Mehuza, that's his city, Ba'iru. Ba'iru is milashon bi'ur. Get rid of Hamira, the Hametz, the Bnei Hela. Look at Rashi. Gaius shel Bet HaMelech, the king's troops. Umatilin tikun torach mezonotem ala ayarot. The people in the city had to prepare them food. So if they had food for these guys, Ba'iru Hamira de Bnei Hela mi bataychu. So even if they would put the food in your house, you have to get rid of it. Kivan de ilu migni ve'ilu mitbat birshutaychu kai. Since if it gets stolen, if it gets lost, you guys have to pay for it. You're responsible for it. Ubaitu l'shlumet kedilchon dami. It's like yours. Ve'asur, and it's asur. Says the Gemara, Haniha leman da'amar davar agorem lemamon kemamon. Says that's good. Okay, so that's what we have yisod now. If it's what's it called? If it's you're responsible for it, then you're not allowed to keep it in your house. If you're not responsible, you have no responsibility towards it at all, so it's bichlal, not like yours, then you're allowed to keep the goy's chametz in your house. Says the Gemara now, we have a mahloket like this. So let's see. Hani works good. Leman da'amar davara gorem lemamon kemamon dami. Let's say, if I have, look at Rashi, Leman da'amar Rabbi Shimon ka'amar lebe babakama kadashim shehayav ba'harayutan hayav. Something that you don't own, but you're responsible for it. If somebody else damages it, does he have to pay you or not? But is he responsible to the fact that you're responsible to it? If I have an animal of kodashim, right? Actually, give me a babaka.
But if you borrow something, it's not yours. You don't own it.
No, so when
so how could you say you own it?
No. Meaning, on the shelf, I borrow something. It's owned by the person who I borrowed it from. Right? So when I damage it, I damage the original owners. Right? But do I, the borrower, have any, is it considered mine in any way? So if I say, Davara gorem lemamon kemamon dami, something that causes me to pay is considered paying. So since I'm going to have to pay the original owner, so it's also considered mine.
Only if it gets damaged. So only if the chametz gets burned or destroyed.
But the fact that this will cause me to pay makes it somewhat like I have an ownership in it. Let's see the way the Gemara comes off over there. Ayin Aleph Amud Aleph.
So it's like an ownership.
It's like an ownership.
It's not actual ownership.
It's not an actual one, but it's enough. Rabbi Shimon says, Kodashim shehayav b'hariyutan hayav. Ganav sheganav kodashim mibet be'alim. This guy may set aside a korban, so it's hekdesh. We just said over here, shel gavoa is not yours, right? Im kiblam be'alav alav b'hariyut. Kegon da'amar hare alai olav efrisu. So there's a difference in korbanot between neder and nedava. A neder is a korban. Let's go to nedava first. Nedava, as I say, harezu behemazu olah. This animal is an olah. So I'm allowed to designate what's mine to be an olah, to be a korban. The animal's a korban. What happens if lightning strikes the animal and it dies? Not my fault, not my problem. I don't owe an olah. I designated this to be an olah. Then there's another way you make a korban. You say, hare alai korban. I owe a korban. Now you say, okay, this is my olah. You didn't get out of it until you actually bring it on the mizbeach. So you put aside the korban, and now it gets kaduch with the lightning. You got to bring another one. Get stolen. You got to bring another one. Why?
You're still responsible.
I'm still responsible, right? It's my responsibility to make sure it's one. If I say this is an olah, very nice. You got credit for the donation. Take it to the Beit HaMikdash, put it on the mizbeach. You're good. It didn't get there. What am I going to do? Masha'enkin, if I said I owe an olah, then I'm going to be responsible perpetually until it actually gets done. Because until the olah gets brought, you're on the hook. So now, if somebody steals a korban that I, as the owner, am hayav to replace, can I say that you stole from me? Yes or no? On one hand, you stole Hashem's korban, but I'm going to pay out of pocket the next $100 to buy another sheep. So the Rabbi Shimon says,
The question is, if you have to, do you have to?
Hare alai?
The guy stole it. What do I care?
I don't care what happens until the olah.
It's not there. You're responsible.
You sign the contract to deliver goods to Walmart. Do they care what happened on the water? Do they care if lightning? They don't care. The goods are not in my store. You didn't deliver. I don't care what happened. The Beit HaMikdash, you promised an olah to the Beit HaMikdash. It got stolen, lightning, thunder, hurricane. I don't care. I know what you're telling Hashem. I didn't make the tornado. You made the tornado. You bring it back. Don't work like that. You promised an olah. You bring it. When they shechted and they sprinkle the blood, you're out. There's no excuses. So that's Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon says, Davara gorem lemamon. That's considered not. If you steal from Hashem, you deal with Hashem. It's not my problem. He doesn't have to pay you. But no, I'm going to pay for it. Rabbi Shimon says, Davara gorem lemamon, because it causes me to have to pay. So it's like you stole from me $100.
What's the difference? The first case you said, if
Hare alai or harezu?
Yeah.
Hare alai, it's my obligation. Harezu, this is a korban. It's not my
if
obligation.
something happened,
It's gone. Hashem will deal with himself. He lost the korban. It was never my responsibility. I designated this as a korban. Hayav l'shalem kefil. The avol gav delav didehu. Even though it wasn't his, it was hekdesh. Since it causes me to pay, kedideh damya. It's like his. You have to pay the kefil. So that's according to the Rabbi Shimon. The fact that I what's good. The ganav will have to replace the korban. He'll give it back, whatever. But that it should be considered like he stole from a hidyot, that he should have to pay kefil. That's only fayol davara gorem lemamon. That the fact that it causes me to lose makes it like he stole it from me. Now that not everybody agrees, but if you hold davara gorem lemamon, so it's good. So the Gemara says like this: you have the same thing over here. The hametz is not mine. It's not my hametz. But because I'm responsible for it, that makes it like mine. So that's why Rabbi will say that if I have hametz that I'm responsible for, I have to get rid of it. Why? Because the fact that I have to pay for it if it gets lost makes it like it's mine. Now I understand. But if you hold davara gorem lemamon lav kimamon, and the guy that steals this korban doesn't have to pay kefil because he stole Hashem's, and the pasuk says. Whatever the pasuk is, but it's the mema'et hekdesh. If you hold that an animal that I have to pay for is not mine, the chametz I have to pay for is also not mine. So we shouldn't say that you have to what? Says the Gemara, Hani had good leman da amar davar agorim lemamon kemamon. Ela leman da amar lav kemamon. If you say it's not like money, ma yikal meimar. What do you have to get rid of it for? Gemara answers, Shani achad da amar lo yimatzeh. The pasuk lo yimatzeh teaches us that over here, even if it's not considered like mammon and the rest of the Torah, over here the Torah was makpid on such an interest.
Can I use this as collateral?
It's not yours.
It's Kimamon.
No, it's not yours.
It should be a proof against Kimamon. Since I can't use it for collateral, it shouldn't be considered like mine. Opposite theory.
How are you going to use somebody else's thing as collateral?
Because I'm saying it's Kimamon. Since I could replace it, maybe I could use it as collateral. I have some kind of ownership.
No, the question would be, can you insure it? Do you have standing to insure it? And you do. There's no question you would.
What does insurance have to do with anything? Insurance doesn't qualify.
Can I insure your goods?
I can insure. I could do life insurance on that.
I'm not talking life insurance. Can you? First of all, you can't do life insurance. You need to sometimes. Can I insure your goods?
No,
why not?
because Kimamon Dami.
No, I'm talking American law. He wants
why
us
not?
thinking American law. I can't insure your goods. Nobody's going to write me a policy on your goods. But if I'm responsible for your goods, then I'll be able to insure your goods. But I'm responsible, I could. If it's in my house, right? What? Right, if I'm a warehouse, I could. If I'm responsible to it, that's what we need over here. Not everything is how much money you could borrow.
No, but I could sell goods to the store and still insure them, even though it's not mine anymore.
Because you have a responsibility to it.
Right. So
But, because the store, anytime I have a responsibility, I can insure it. That's this concept more or less. It doesn't have to be that I can use it as collateral. Collateral, you have to have ownership interest. They're not going to give you something.
I do. I have a replacement.
No, you don't. But you don't. You don't have. You have the opposite. In order to borrow money on it, you have to be able to sell it. You have to be able to make money from it. You can't make money on this. They're not giving you. They're giving you collateral on something that you could give to them. It's to guarantee their principal. It's not guaranteeing their principal. You can't give it to them if the loan goes bad. Why are they going to give you collateral on it?
But you just have to replace it.
You can't give it to them. It's stealing if you give it to them.
You could be podeh.
No, you're talking a korban. You can't be korban. Let's get a move first. Okay. And then what's the difference? Poding. So you have the cash. I mean, it's not. It's not extra money for you. Doesn't go. You have to speak to the accountant. They'll tell you which side of the balance sheet to put it on. Okay. So yes.
I thought you were asking that if I could insure somebody else's chametz on Pesach, because
that's a very good question. But we'll see. Wait till we go further in the Gemara. There's more to come. That's a question we spoke about many times in the halakha classes that we have. But wait. We're still raw. We're still just getting into the sugya. Says the Gemara. Well, the good thing about Daf Yomi, by the end of the day, we'll be up to date. Okay. My ika lemei mashana. Ika da amri. Others brought this in the opposite way. Ika da amri hanich leman da amar davar gorim lemamon laav kimamon dami. If you say normally not like Rabbi Shimon, that you're not obligated, that you don't pay kefil, because since the animal is not physically yours, I don't care that you're responsible for it. So that's why I need a pasuk. Normally I hold that it's not like yours. So the Torah over here had to specifically write for me an extra pasuk to tell you, since you're responsible, you have to get rid of it. If I hold, not only here, the whole Torah, if I have to pay for it, if I have responsibility for it, it's considered like my money. What do I need a pasuk for? Rabbi Shimon should know it from korbanot. He should know it from kefil. He should know this rule. What does he need a special pasuk for? It's tzrich. I still need it. I might say that this chametz, when it's here, even after Pesach, you give it back plain. Look at Rashi. It wasn't destroyed. If this chametz stays over Pesach, I give it back to the guy the way it is. Even though it's asur b'hana. When it gets lost, that's when it's considered gorem lemamon. Kigon gabe guna gonev kodashim shayu ba'alim hayavim b'chayrutan. If you stole kodashim, you owe it. Amar b'shimon afal pi she'en kefel lehekdesh. Da'aktiv l're'ehu. Right? What's the pasuk? blank. I'm by careful. I don't remember the pasuk. V'natan lere'ehu, I think. V'lo lehekdesh hacha chayav. The friend that was watching the korban chayav b'hariyutan. Re'ehu karina be. It's still re'ehu because he has to pay for it. The hagaram lo letchayev mamon. Masha'enken over here, where we're talking, where the item is still in existence and it's still there, so therefore you might say that that's not considered like it's lost. It's not considered a gorem lemamon when it becomes chametz she'avar alav pesach. Now the Gemara continues a similar concept, like a partial interest in something. How does it work? Ba'u minei mirava. Behemat arnona hayevet bebechora o en hayevet bebechora. We have a law that if Jew owns an animal and the animal has a baby, the first baby goes to the mizbeach. It's a korban. It's kadosh. So now, let's say Rashi, behemat arnona. Hamelech notel isur mena behema mena tevua. The king takes a tax. You have 100 animals, the king takes 10. Right? You're baking bread, the king takes 10% of your bread. He gives it to his army. Right? So the Gemara says, Gemara wants to know, you have a behema in a flock that's chayav in arnona. Chayavet bebechora is a chayav in bechora. The kaimalan we hold, kol shiad nochri be'emetza. If there's a goy mixed into this animal, peturam in a bechora. He doesn't have to be a full owner. He's be a part owner. If a goy is a part owner, you don't have to give. There's no bechor. There's no kiddushat bechor. Shene'emar ki li kol bechor beYisrael. Only beYisrael. Avalo be'achirim. Ve'eder ze she'isuro shel melech betocho. This flock that we didn't separate out the king's 10%. So now, in theory, right now, in every animal, there's part of the king, and then we're going to divide it up and give the king these, right? Do you have to give it or not?
So you could say about businesses.
What?
So you could say about business. If you open in Shabbat, you have partner. The government's your partner. They're my partner.
It could be, yeah. They're partners in more than 17%. They're like 50% partners, these guys.
Yeah, so you could open Shabbat.
Right? Okay. You have Uncle Sam tell the workers what to do. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
They do tell the workers what to do.
Yeah, they tell them what not to do.
Right.
If you leave him in charge on Shabbat, you'll
Make sure you give them 3 breaks a day. The whole system is...
Amarava. We want to relocate the factory to Halab. Okay. Amarava. What's the law? So the Gemara says, do I say it's like a goy partner or not? If you could pay them off and give them money instead of animals, we're not asking a question. The hayevet. Why? Because it's like you have a loan against you. It's not that they actually have a physical ownership in the animal. Because I owe them money. Look at Rashi. The goy didn't take possession of the animals. He didn't come and pull them. So he only has like a financial claim on it. We could say, maybe I won't give him animals. So we only have the question. I
can't make a decision to dissolve something without the other partners. Means now I'm going to give the korban, right? So now I'm going to give this animal as a bechor, right? So really I'm dissolving. I can't dissolve without the other guy's permission.
The other guy don't care as long as you give him his animal.
Well, how do you know that?
Who, the king?
The guy that has the interest, no. You're saying the guy that has the interest, right?
It's not a guy that has an interest. The government, you owe the government taxes. You can owe them 10% from this flock.
So does that consider your partners or not?
That's the case. No. If I really have a goy,
no, it's not a goy.
He's a king.
Taxes.
Rashi, Hamelech notel, but the king is a goy.
The same thing. How could I do it without what's it called?
Because you know that he doesn't stop you from doing anything. The king, you don't make it. You pay me you give me my animals.
That's not called a partner. It's called if I make if I sell.
He already the case. It's the way Rashi learns. Rashi seems to say that there's already you owe him the 10% now. The animals are.
You have like an interest of 10% in it.
No.
Once you have it, you own 10%.
He has an ownership of 10%.
Look at Rashi says. Eder ze she'isuro shel melech betocho. The king's 10% is in there.
So it's ownership.
Every year he takes 10% of your animals. So now he owns 10% here. He's going to come in and you're going to have to give him 10%. But in the meantime, you're running it.
There's no specific. I own 10%.
No, right. So he's not.
You come up with 10%.
Right. So l'chaora, his 10% is in the whole flock now.
If he goes out of business during that year, he's going to have the 10%?
I don't know.
He's not around.
On his profit.
I'm saying it's only on profit. That's what I'm saying. Only on profit.
ארנונה הוא חוק שיש למלך בשל כל אדם בכל בהמה ועיסה לאכילתו כשהולך ממקום למקום. The king goes around, everybody has to give towards that.
Today's inventory or what happened during the year?
Whatever the king wants.
Is it on ownership or is it on profit?
I don't know.
If it's on profit, then it has nothing to do with the animal.
He's going to come and take from your field. Arnona wasn't paid on this field, on this flock. That's what it seems like. Amar Rava says. No, so the Gemara says, "Ki kami bayala heched delo matzi misal glebezuzimai." Amar lehu petura. He told them it's patur. V'hatanya dinu milon hayevet, that you have to pay, that you have to give bechora. Hatam dematzi misal gle. That's talking when you can pay him. So then it's just a monetary obligation. It's not a partnership. Mashenken, when you can't pay him off, it's like he owns a part. That's patur. That's the first lashon. Ike da amri, others say, Amarava be'emat arnona petura min bechora. The be'ema of the arnona is patur from bechora. The afagav de matzi misalekle, even though you can get rid of him. Rashi, the kol kama de lo silke, as long as you didn't pay him off, yado shaycha be'bemo. It's like buying out a partner. I mean, the king has a right to come and take the partner. It's the fact that you could let him take money, and that's a privilege or something. But in essence, he really could come and take whatever he wants, take his part of the field. Yeah, Isat Arnona, like he comes and he takes bread. In the old days, the king would come. The king would tour the country, right? So the king travels with a huge amount of people. He needs food. He needs supplies. So he has a quartermaster that goes around. And he goes around to the local population. The king is here. You guys gotta support him. So you give me loaves of bread, and you give me what's going to happen. And he would take the actual supplies. The fact that you could tell him, listen, I'll give you money. Go buy the supplies from the bakery. If he wants, he takes. He doesn't. But be'etzim, the king's right is on your property. Arnona has real estate property.
Rabbi, so it sounds like the
Water,
10% on each individual animal, not on the group of 100 flocks.
Then it will be only 10 animals from the whole thing. It seems like originally it's on the whole field, and then you select 10, which sort of you concentrate his ownership from the whole flock into the ones that you give him.
And then that takes off the chiyuv of.
The fact that before you pay him, there's a chiyuv on the whole thing. That's. That means that he's a partial owner in every piece. Isat arnona hayavet behala, but though that's chayav in arnona is chayav in hala. Even when you can't pay him off. My ta'ama behema it lekala. Isa let lekala. Animals, people know that this flock needs arnona or whatever, but those nobody knows which one it is, and it's too quiet. So they see you making a dough and not taking halal, they're not going to understand why. They're going to say, hey, you don't have to give halal. So therefore, even though halachically it should be patur, midrabanam, we're going to make it hayav because it's misleading. That doesn't mean if you have to pay it. This doesn't apply to income tax, because income tax is a monetary obligation. We don't care what you do with your animals, as long as you pay us money. This is when at the time that they were taking from the actual flour. Tana Rabbanan, Nochri shenichnas lechatzero shel Yisrael ubetzeko biyado. He's holding bread dough in his hand. En zakuk on Pesach. En zakuk leva'ir. You don't have to get rid of it. Why? Because it says, Hifkido etzlo, if he gives it to you to hold, zakuk leva'ir. Now you have to get rid of it. Yiched lo bayit, if you set aside a room for him, en zakuk leva'ir. You don't have to get rid of it. Shene'emar lo yimatzeh. Maika amar, what's lo yimatzeh? Lo yimatzeh is explaining why yiched lo bayit, you don't have to get rid of it. Amar papa reisha kai. Going on the reisha. Rachi kamar. Hifkido etzlo. If he put it by you, zakuk leva'ir, you have to get rid of it. Shene'emar lo yimatzeh. You can't have it, and it's talking when you accepted responsibility.
What's the case? A guy walked into your hotel with a piece of bread?
Yeah.
And he left it there.
What?
He left it there.
And he left it there. No, wait. He didn't leave it there. He walks in. He walks in with
it.
No, your neighbor. He walks in with a piece of cake. He's eating a Danish.
He puts it up.
He's eating a Danish.
The worker bringing
your worker's bringing lunch. You don't have. It's not your problem. It's not yours. Lo yimatzeh. Now he says, let's say, I want to put it in your fridge. Zakuk leva'ir. Now it would seem if kido etzlo and you have a responsibility, right? Rashi, look at Rashi. En zakuk leva'ir lo hizkikuhu leotzi et hanochrim min habayit. You don't have to throw him out. Kedamran aval ata ro'eh shel achirim. This belongs to the goy. If kido etzlo, he told you, could you watch my lunch for me? V'kibel alei harayut. Has to be talking that you accepted responsibility. Because we said as long as you didn't accept responsibility, okay. He says, I'll pay you to watch this for me, or whatever, where you're responsible for it. Zakuk leva'ir, you have to get rid of it. Right? Yiched lo bayit. If he set aside the house, kilomar. Rashi says, lo kiblo alav. He didn't accept responsibility. Ela amar le, he told him, hare habayit lefanecha. My house is in front of you. Hanach be'achat min hazaviyot. Put it wherever you want. En zakuk leva'ir, you don't have to get rid of it. Because the way Rashi is learning, Rashi says, lo kibel alav. He didn't accept. That's why Tosfot learns differently. Pirish HaKuntrus de lo kibel alav harayut. Ela amar le hare habayit lefanecha. Lekashe l'ri. If that's the case, my irya yiched, afilu lo yiched nami. Vehechi nami masik besamuch lemema b'deschiru kanya. What are you talking about? Pirish Rabbeinu Tam da afilu ba'acharayut mighty. It's talking with the harayut.
That's a big kedusha.
Umishum hachi mafik milo yimatzeh de la hashiv matzui kiven de yiched lo bayit. If you told him you could use this room, so it's like you gave him the room.
And who's responsible if it gets lost?
I'm responsible, but it's not in my house.
That's your room. That's what you would use.
Let's go again. Go through the floor of the Braita. Braita says if he walks into your house, it's not a problem. Why? I'm not responsible.
That's what we do today.
What?
We sell the goy and we put it in one room.
1 second. Right.
That's what we do today.
Right. We don't know. We don't. Specify in the contract. You don't know. Come on. Well, you think the rabbis are? You think we never learned? You think we need a benutam for our contract? We tell the goy we're not supposed to. Yiched lo ba. If he walks in, I don't have to. Why no harayut? If kido etzlo has to be talking with a harayut. Yiched lo bayit. If I set aside a house for him, en zakuk leva'ir. So if kido etzlo is talking when you accepted a harayut, because when you didn't accept a harayut, you don't have to get rid of it. Why would yiched lo bayit be talking without a harayut? You already told me that in the beginning.
Right.
The chidush of yiched lo bayit has to be even though you accepted a harayut. And a minute ago I told you if you accept a harayut, you have to get rid of it. When yiched lo bayit, that solves your harayut problem.
No, maybe when it's contained, it's a different factor. When it's in one zavid, okay, I know it's there.
Why? If the problem is that I'm responsible and it's in my house, how's that solved? The fact it's in one place.
The fact that it's one place.
Why did Ava tell them to get rid of the chametz of the bnei Hillel? Why didn't they put it in one place?
It's like having a goy tenant, right?
I'm not responsible for anything that a goy tenant
goy
does.
tenant is for sure.
You're responsible for his stuff? Oh, it's not a problem at all. Let's read a little further. Let's see. Says the Gemara. So now we want to know first, what is this lo yimatzeh? So Ravas Amar of Papa Reisha, he's going on the Reisha. Vachi Kamar Hifki do it's law if you gave it to you to watch, Zakuk Leveri, you have to get rid of it. Shneimar lo yimatzeh. Even if it's not yours, if you accept the responsibility, it's a problem. Ravashi Amar le'olam ha'seifa. It's going on the last piece. Yiched lo bayit. Vachi Kamar. Yiched lo bayit en zakuk leva'ir. If you set aside a room for him, you don't have to get rid of it. Shneimar lo yimatzeh bebatechem. It shouldn't be found in your house. Veha lavdi dehu. This is not yours. Denochri ki kama'ayel lebeita denafshe kama'ayel. When you set aside for the goy this room, it became like his. So when he's putting this stuff in, it's like he's going into his own house. So it comes out according to Rabbeinu Tam that if I'm responsible for the goy's things in his house, it's not a problem.
It's really very good.
Lememra deschirut kanya. I mean, you didn't give the goy the house. You're renting it to him. At most, you're renting it to him. So you're telling me that sechirut, renting it to the goy, makes it like it's not yours, and you bear no responsibility for that area. And I'll show you. We have a mishnah. Even in places where they let you rent, in Eretz Yisrael, you're not allowed to rent property to a goy. Right? But en chutz la'aretz, Rashi says in Syria, you're allowed to rent. And koshken chutz la'aretz. But even where they let you rent to him, lo lebetira amru. You can't rent it to him to live in. Mepnei shemachnisim letocha avodah zarah. They're going to bring avodah zarah into the house, and it says that you're not allowed to have avodah zarah in your house. So, but if you tell me that renting it makes it not mine, so what do I give the guy brings avodah zarah in? Ela al korchach, renting it doesn't take it totally out of your reshut. So over here when it says lo yimatzeh bebatechem, renting should not be enough to make the house not mine, that I can have a goy's chametz that I'm responsible for there. Says the Gemara. Shani hacha de'afke rahamana belashon lo yimatzeh. It's not a pure ownership play. It has to be that it's matzui biyadcha, that you're able to go there. Since you gave it over to the goy, you told him you use it the way you see fit. It's already not matzui biyadi. It's not free for me to use. It's the goy's.
Well, you can walk in anytime.
Could be. Could be.
But even though you have access to the place at all times.
He lets me walk, but it's his life. Kivan she head lo bayit avi.
I want to be like you. I don't do that. He wants to do things.
Okay. Let's see. That's that. Amar Rav Yehuda Amarav. Hamotzeh hametz bebeto b'yom tov. If you find hametz in your house on Yom Tov, kofeh alav et hakeli. Cover it. Look in Rashi. Teha lo hazi letiltule. You can't move it because it's muktzeh ve'afuke. You can't take it out. Umiu bebal yira'eh lo avar. You're not over on bal yira'eh. Teha betle belibe me'etmol. You made bitul yesterday. Aboder tzarich shivateh belibo. Ela. So what do you have to cover it for? Mishum shelo yishkach v'yochlenu tzarich kefiyat keli. So you don't forget to eat it, and you'll come to eat it. So you cover it. Amar Rava. Im shel hekdeshu, if the chametz belongs to hekdesh, eno tzarich, you don't have to cover it. My tamam ivdal b'dilim in it. People stay away from it anyway. They're afraid of eating hekdesh. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amarav, himtzo shel nochri, same thing. If you have chametz that belongs to a goy that you're not responsible for, oseh lo mechitza asarat tvachim, make a mechitza in front of it. Mishum heker, so you remember it belongs to the goy and you won't come to eat it. V'im shel hekdeshu, but if it's hekdesh. People are scared of hekdesh. They make sure not to eat it all year long. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amarav, Hamefaresh vayotze b'shayara kodem 30 yom. Hamefaresh vayotze b'shayara. If you're going on a trip, kodem 30 yom, more than 30 days before Pesach, eno zakuk leva'er. You don't have to get rid of the hametz. You could, but you don't have to. When Pesach comes, you'll make bitul. You'll be somech on the bitul. Toch 30 yom, within 30 days, zakuk leva'ir, you have to get rid of it. Amar Abaye. Abaye says, Had Amar toch 30 yom zakuk leva'ir. This is what we say, within 30 days you have to get rid of it. Lo amaran el shedato la hazor. That's only if he's planning on coming back before Pesach. And then maybe he won't have enough time to get rid of it, and he'll wind up having chametz on Pesach. Aval endato la hazor. If he's not planning on coming back, en zakuk leva'ir, you don't have to get rid of it, even within 30 days. Amalei Rava told him, what are you talking about? V'ida'atola hazor, if he's planning on coming back, filu mirosh Hashanah nami. Even from the beginning of the year, he has to get rid of it. Why? Because you might come back into the house and not have enough time, and you'll have chametz on Pesach. Ela Amar Rava, he qualifies the statement like this. Hada Amar Kodem Shloshim Yom En Zakuk Laveh. This is what we say before 30 days. You don't have to get rid of the chametz. Lo Amaran Ela She'en Da'ato Lahazor. That's only if he's not planning on coming back. Aval Da'ato Lahazor, if he's planning on coming back, Filu Mirosh Hashanah, even from the beginning of the year, Zakuk Leva'ed, you have to get rid of your chametz. Why? Because we're afraid you're going to come back and you'll be in the house with chametz on Pesach. But if you're leaving before 30 days and you're not planning on coming back, you don't have to check why. You'll make bitul. Why did we say you can't make bitul? Because we're afraid maybe you'll be around it and you'll eat it. Okay, so this guy's not going to be around, so he can be somech on bitul. If so, whenever I leave, let me rely on bitul. Rava goes according to his other position that we know. Let's say you have a room that you were using. Now you're going to make it into a warehouse. You're going to store stuff in it. So you're going to bring in tons of goods. You're not going to be able to get to this stuff after you. When you load it up with boxes and say, how are you going to get your stuff there? You're not going to be able to check. So if there's chametz in there now, you're never going to find him. Before 30 days before Pesach, you have to clean it out. Within 30 days of Pesach, zakuk leva'er. V'kodem 30 nami, before 30 days, when we say you don't have to check, lo amaran ela she'en da'ato lefanoto. That's if he's not planning on emptying it out before Pesach. Aval da'ato lefanoto, if he's planning on emptying it out before Pesach, afilu kodem 30 yom, even before 30 days, nami zakuk leva'er. You have to clean it out. Why? Again, because we're afraid maybe you'll do it very close to Pesach and you won't have time. You won't have time to check it. Says the Gemara, Ani shloshim yom. Maya v'taya. Why is 30 days the criteria? Where does 30 days come from? Kedetanya, like we learned. Sho'alim v'dorshim belchot Pesach kodem Pesach shloshim yom. We start learning the laws of Pesach 30 days before Pesach. 30 days before Pesach, you're involved in Pesach. At that point, already you have to start worrying about Pesach. Rashi quotes it before. Kodem 30 yom, ulkaman mefaresh keneged shesholim belchot haPesach kodem haPesach 30 yom, because we get involved in the laws of Pesach 30 days before. Me'az chal alav lizaed b'tzorchei Pesach. Just like you start learning Hilchot Pesach 30 days before, at that point you already have to start worrying about Pesach.
Yeah, but every holiday we start 30 days before.
Maybe. Okay, so every holiday, but Pesach already 30 days before, you have to worry about Pesach. Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel Omer, he says, no, you don't have to learn 30 days before. Shtei Shabbatot, only 2 weeks. My ta'amad the Tanakama. Where does the Tanakama learn that you have to learn about Pesach 30 days before? Shaharei Moshe Omer bePesach Rishon. Moshe, on the first Pesach, Yudalid or Tedvav ben Nisan, Umazir ala Pesach Sheni. He's telling them about Pesach Sheni. Shneimar, like it says. V'ya'asu b'nei Yisrael et Pesach. Right? V'ya'asu b'nei Yisrael et Pesach. They made the Korban Pesach. B'mo'ado. V'ya'asu b'nei Yisrael et Pesach b'mo'ado. Right? Hashem told Bnei Israel, make the Korban Pesach in its time, on the 14th of Nisan. Uchtiv, it says, Vayu anashim asher ayu temim lenefesh adam. There's people that became tameh. Right? And what? People became tameh. And they told Moshe, we want to bring a Korban Pesach. Well, lama nigara, why can't we bring it? And Moshe told them, let me hear from Hashem. And Hashem told them, you were tameh first Pesach, bring second Pesach. When? 14th of Iyar. 14th of Iyar. It's a month later. So you see that Pesach Sheni we spoke about for a month. Kol Shkem Pesach Rishon we're going to talk about for a month. What does he do with that? Amar lecha, I'll tell you. I did the Ari b'mili de Pescha masik leula kol mili de Pescha. Because he was talking about Pesach, so he finished the laws of Pesach. Pesach Sheni is like the last perek of Pesach Rishon. Then he finished it off. but not because you always have to do 30 days before the Pesach. Says the Gemara, okay. My Ta'amah de Rashbag. So what's Rashbag's reason? Sharei Moshe omed berosh chodesh umazir ala Pesach. When the first Pesach, Moshe was on Rosh Chodesh. HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodeshim. HaChodesh hazeh, he showed him the moon. It was Rosh Chodesh, right? Shneimar HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodeshim. Uchtiv daberu kol adam bnei Yisrael mo be'asol HaChodesh hazeh v'chulam ish zeh lebeit avot zeh lebayit. Right away, HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodeshim. The next pasuk is tell the people to do Korban Pesach. So you see, it's on Rosh Chodesh, 2 weeks before, and he's telling them to do Korban Pesach. Says Gemara, who says Pasuk Bet happened the minute after Pasuk Aleph? Maybe Pasuk Aleph, HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodeshim, that happened when it happened. And then Pasuk Bet, a couple days later. Dilma be'arba b'yarha be'hamisha b'yarha. Maybe this was on the third or fourth, or the fourth or fifth of the month. Ela. Amar Rabba bar Simi Mishmed Ravina Mehacha Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe b'midbar Sinai Bashana Hasheni B'chodesh Harishon, right? Uchtiv V'yasu b'nei Yisrael et HaPesach b'mu'ado. He told them, he's talking to them in the second month, no, sorry, in the first month, and he's telling them to make Korban Pesach. So you see, he gave them 14 days warning. Says Gemara Hachanami Minay B'Teresha. It says it was in the first month. It didn't say what day. Maybe it wasn't on Rosh Chodesh. Maybe it was on the fourth of the month. Dilma be'arba b'yarha or be'hamisha b'yarha kai. Amar Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak atya midbar midbar. We learn a Gezerah Shava midbar. Ketiv hacha Hashem spoke to Moshe b'midbar Sinai. Ketiv hata vaydaber Hashem o Moshe b'midbar Sinai bo'amoed be'echad lachodesh hasheni. On the first of the second month. Ma lahalan berosh chodesh. When it says the month, it's on the first of the month. Afkan, even though it doesn't say what day, I understand that when it says which month, it's on the first of the month. Says Gemara, v'nichtov bereisha de chodesh rishon v'adar nichtov de chodesh sheni. If you look where these pesukim are, right? The first one is Vaydaber Hashem Moshe b'midbar Sinai. That's the beginning of Bamidbar, right? That's Perek Aleph, Pasuk Aleph. One is that first of the second month, Aleph Iyah. V'yasu b'nei Yisrael Pesach b'mu'ado. That's in B'ha'alotecha. 3 parashiot later, and it's a month before. So Sefer Bamidbar how does that order? The opening paragraph of Sefer Bamidbar really comes after Parashat Ba'alotecha. Osama Parashat Ba'alotecha. So why don't we put it in order? Right? Amar Rav Menashe bar Tachlifa Mishmed Rav Zot Omer, this teaches us En Mukdam Mu'har B'Torah. The Torah is not written in chronological order.
We're making a case of the word midbar on what the date was. It sounds like a little.
The Torah wants you to know what day it is. The Torah didn't say. It must be the one you learn from another place. Midbar. It's a Gezerah Shava, not a Kish. Gezerah Shava. And there's halachic ramification from the Rashbag.
So I'm saying, but it's like.
Well, you don't think dates are not important?
No, dates are important, but from the word midbar, I mean,
okay.
Why not word from the word chodesh?
Because there's a lot of chodeshes. There's not a lot of times when the Torah tells you where he's speaking, when he's speaking. In midbar Sinai, b'chodesh.
Okay. I think usually when we learn Gezerah Shava, lachem.
Not always.
Okay, it's like it's to the topic. Over here, midbar is location where he was speaking. What does that have to do with the time that he was speaking?
I don't know. We put an extra word in both places for this reason.
I mean, we know he's in the midbar. Why does he have to say midbar?
I don't know which midbar, but it's extra. It's superfluous. Where were they the whole time? I don't know. That's still the same. Yeah, somewhere there.
Somewhere there. Still in the bushes.
I shouldn't say anything about the midbar business. Okay. The Gemara continues. Amar Papa, Lo Amaran, Emukdam Muhar is not a total free flow. Lo Amaran, Ela Betre Inyane. Aval Behad Inyana, in the same Inyan, May de Mukdam, Umay de Meuhar. In the same parasha, you can't put the end in the beginning and the beginning. You can't say it's just change the whole thing around.
Different parashiyot, yeah.
It's only parasha, I mean between a pei and a samech. You can't just put anything where you want. Watch, he's going to show you why not. We have a rule. If the Torah writes a klal, don't eat any, what's it called? Then it says this and this and this. So we say, the klal includes only the details that were given. Rashi will give us an example.
I don't do that.
The beseder ketivata ne'emru, that was said in order. Hade kaimalan kol klal uprat. Anytime you have a klal uprat, en bechlal ela mashu befrat. Lefi sheba prat upirat. The details came and said shezeu klal. This is the whole rule that I gave you. Heichi samchinan Allah. How do we rely on that? Maybe really the details were given first, and then the klal came, and then the rule is the opposite, right? Let's see. When we have a klal uprat, en bechlal elamash befrat, dilma prat uklalu. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe the prat, the detail came first, and then the rule, right? And we say naasa klal mosif ala prat. In that case, we say that the prat, that the klal is coming to add on to the prat. And everything is included. The prat was just an example, and then they told you, and everything is like this. So it's opposite. If the klal comes first, and then the prat totally limited the klal. The klal is defined by this example. And if the example comes first, and then the klal, then everything is included. Naasa klal mosif ala prat. How am I going to know which one it is? If I can't trust the order, then I don't know what I have.
Nice.
Vitru.
Yeah, but that's for chronology, not for.
I don't know.
That's not for halachot. That's for the problem with me'achar mukdam is
only
when things
only
happen.
date.
Has nothing to do with laws.
But he's learning something from the other.
What's the difference if it was on February 1st that he gave the law or January 1st that he gave the law? It has nothing to do with
what comes first.
What comes first, klal or prat? It's a law problem. It's not a date problem.
You're not going to bring klal prat when something's talking
Means
about
if I'm learning from the actual, if you tell me the problem is Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni, or something like that, it has to do with dates. That's fine. But regular law, what does that have to do with dates?
I'm not sure. I hear your point. I'm not sure, but you see, Rav Papa didn't think like you. I hear your point. The Gemara thinks it would apply even to the words for some reason. Says the Gemara, Vetu, another question. Klalu pratu klal. We have another rule. Pratu klal. Naasa klal mosif ala prat. And we include everything. Tilma klalu pratu. Maybe it's a klal and a prat. And ein lecha bechlal elamashi beprat. Says the Gemara, Ihachi. Afilu betrei nyaneh. So then Rav Papa said, trei nyaneh, you don't have a problem. Who says? Maybe trei nyaneh is also a problem. Why hanicha lema damar klalu prat amru hakim zemize ein danino to beklalu prat. Shapir. There's a mahloket. If the klal prat are not written right next to each other, they're written far apart. Could I say that's a klal prat or not? So if you say I can't, say right, there's no problem because if it's far apart, it doesn't apply. This rule doesn't apply. But if you say even applies when they're far apart, so even in two separate concepts, it should still be a problem. Why? Because we say en mukdamu harba Torah, and yet we done a klalu prat amru hakim when they're far away, and then you don't know what the order is. You even you or Papa admit that you don't know the order when they're far apart. So how do you ever dal klalu prat amru hakim? So the Gemara says, if maybe he's saying what you said, Zura. If you're going to say it applies to klalu prat, meaning to dirashot, then even far away it should be a problem. Nami hanich lema damar klalu prat amru hakim zemize and danino to beklalu prat. When they're far away, we don't learn it like that. Shapir ela lema da amar danim. According to the opinion that says we do dan beklalu prat. Ma'ikal meimar. What are you going to say? Hare you can't dan klalu prat amru hakim because terei nyaneh there's no order. Filu lema da amar danim. Hani mili behadin yana. Could be far apart, but in the same parasha, same inyan. Once you move down to a new topic, and then you can't learn it. Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Habodek, it's ridiculous. Habodek tzarich shivatel. A person that's checking, when he finishes checking, he has to make bitul. My ta'ama. Why? Inay mishum pirurin, because of the crumbs that he doesn't have to get rid of. Halo hashibi. They're not important. Meaning, and Rashi says,
Aren't they muvtal anyways?
I think that's what Rashi says. הרי מבאר כל אמצע. כל פירורים כנראה זה לא חשוב. וכי תימנו. כיוון דמנטר לו אגב ביתה, הרי he locks his house. So he's watching the crumbs too. Even though that's not what he's intending to watch. But that fact that he's watching the crumbs means that he's not making it batil. Right? אגב ביתה חשיב והתניא סופה תאנים. Right? He has two things in his field. He has te'enim that are not ripening, and they're not hashuv. Rashi, sofet te'enim, sof lekitat te'enim nimtzaot bete'ena, which is te'enim she'ena mitbashlo kol tzorkan olamid. They never get ripe, so he doesn't bother picking them. Whoever wants to take him and do what he wants to do with them, do it. Right? Umeshamer sadeh umepnei anavim, but he still has grapes there, so he locks it every night. Or the opposite, sofet anavim. If he has grapes that are the same story, that they don't ripen, he has kusa grown there. If the balabai doesn't want to let anyone take them, asurim mishum gezel. It's asur to use them. It's asur to take them because of gezel. V'chayavim b'maaser, because it's not hefker. The rule is hefker is patur for maaser. If the guy doesn't want anyone to take him, so then it's not hefker. If he's not makpid, if you take them, even though he locks the door and physically you can't get to them, mutarim mishum gezel, there's no problem of gezel. Upeturim mishum maaser. So you see that locking the door doesn't make it like you're allowed to take it. There's no issue of gezel.
Sounds like mutarim mishum gezel. Sounds like lechatchila.
What mutarim? You're allowed to take it.
If he took.
No, it would say
If I go buy something from a store, it's mutarim mishum gezel.
No, but the guy didn't tell me take
No,
it.
you're going to buy something from the store. That's what I'm saying. To walk out.
Yeah.
Because it looks like gezel.
No, meaning don't think it's stealing. It's going into the guy's field.
Okay.
Watch the dogs.
Says Gemara, Amar Rava explains. You know why you have to be mevatel? Gezerah Shema Yimtza Geluska Yafe. Gezerah Shema Yimtza Geluska Yafe. Maybe you'll find a nice loaf that you missed. V'da'atei laveh. And he didn't want to be mevatel. That thing is not patel by itself. Rashi, Hashuvai be'ena v'has aleh lesorfa. He's not going to want to burn it right away. U'mishaheh afilu rega ahad. And he waits even one moment. ונמצא עובר עליה בבל יראה ובל ימצא. אבל מי שבטלה, once you מבטל בפירוש, אין עובר. תלה כתיב אלא תשפיטו. That's already ביטול. When you say something is batel, חשוב כעפר, right? Or like Tosfot says that it's considered hefker, depending which way you learn, right? That's considered, that's already not yours. In Rashi it's meduyak that if you were anus, you didn't know it was there. And as soon as you saw it, you pulled out your blood. Even though it was there, you wouldn't be over it. But still now, you weren't honest.
Without bitul.
Without bitul. And as soon as you found it, you ran to burn it. But if the delay of a second, you say, oh man, I can't believe it. That's killing you. That's your isur. When you wait a minute to go get the matches, that's the isur. Because you think the guy found the glue scotch bothering him? He found a big bottle of very expensive scotch. For a whole case. Says the Gemara, what?
He's not burning that.
V'chi. Says the Gemara, v'chi mashkah halel v'tle. Let him make the bitul right away when he finds it. Dilma mashkah halel b'atar isura. Maybe he's going to find it after the time of the isur. And at that point, it's not his anymore. And he can't mevatel it. Ta'amar bil azar, shnei dvarim, two things. Enam birshuto shel adam. They're not considered. They're not in your possession. The asana katuv ki'ilu birshuto. The Torah made it like it's yours to be mechayev you. Look at Rashi. The Amar Bilazar, right? Dela bishutehu eno shelo. The Amar Bilazar, bet varim enam shelo or enam bishuto. Va'asana katuv ki'ilu hem bishuto letchayev alehem, to make you hayav. What are they? Bor birshut rabim. Are the birshut rabim is not yours. So if you dig a pit there, why should I be hayav on the nezik? It's not mine. Torah made it like it's yours because the Torah said Baal habor yishalem. The owner of the bor should pay. It's not the owner. I don't own the bor. It's like yours. Right? Hapotchov hayav benezikin. Ve'en habor shelo ela shelefkesh. Are birshut rabim. Va'afal pi shekarau. Even though you dug it, en birshut rabim kinuyalo. So that's one. The hametz mishesh sha'otu lema'ala. Hametz from the 6th hour and on, it's not yours. Yeah, the Torah considers it yours. That you hayav. V'nevetle be'arba. V'nevetle be'hamesh. Let him make the bitul in the daytime. Why does he have to make the bitul at night? I think you're allowed to have hametz for another 10 hours. Let him make the bitul when you're not allowed to have hametz. Rashi, kilomar, lama hu tzrachto levatel balayla. Litkinu rabanan, lekol adam, shivatel kodem yisuro. Says Gemara, kivan delav zman yisurahu. V'lav zman bi'urahu. Dilma pasha v'lo mevatel le. Says there's no specific time. Well, at night I have a specific time. I'm making the bitul, bi'ur hametz. So I'll make the bitul. In the morning, I got to do it before I burn. Once it becomes asur, I have to burn it. It's too late. The guy's going to be busy on that. Let him do it at night, get it out of the way, and then he's good. Ma'asir, we make a second one in the daytime.
I never understood the whole bitul. If the